Greetings. This is the last video of the year for this particular channel. This is my business channel, and I figured, you know what, we got to get one more out here. It's going to be a year of changes of some sort, and it's going to involve this channel as well as my other channel, as well as my business. This is not a video about leadership. This is not a video about diversity. This is a video about business. These are things I'm going to do, and maybe it'll put something in your mind on how you want to view your business in 2020. So one of the first things I'm looking at are things that are kind of taking away from, well, my businesses, things that I want to concentrate on, things that may help me to get, more business. And with that in mind, I'm ending 2 websites pretty much in a couple of days. One is called Top Finance Blog. I bought it back at the end of 2008. I've written a lot of articles on finance. I like talking about general finance and finance tips or whatever. I may still write them, but I'm going to put them on a different blog. The reason I'm giving it up is because it's distracting. I write for my accountant. We trade services. And so I write for her, but some of those articles could be on my other blog. And some of my articles on that blog can be on hers. And it's just this thing where my mind is saying, you know what, I need to concentrate on the business part of that. And that's really her site. So I'm going to give up my finance blog. I'm giving up my other blog, which is called Medical Billing Answers. And it's actually a full website. And I created it back 2011, 2012. And its intention was to really work with people who had questions about medical billing. Not people in the industry, but other people. And for the most part, it's been people in the industry. I've had a couple of people who were patients and they had questions about their bill and they wanted some help, and I helped them out. But it was really supposed to lead to a vehicle to make money by helping people with their medical bills. And just like hospitals that got, blamed for not being open and transparent with their prices, I found that most people really don't want the help. They want to complain about it, but they don't really want the help. So I'm giving that up. Since it was mainly people who were in healthcare who were coming to me, I'm going to have those people come to my main blog, which is Mitch's blog, which is part of my site, TT Mitchell Consulting Incorporated. It's just actually ttmitchell.com, but that's my business. So I'm giving up those 2 things because, once again, a lot of the articles that I was putting on Medical Billing Answers blog should actually be on my other blog. Why have 2 different properties? I'll just have one. So that's going to end that bit of distraction. Another thing, of course, is that I get to repurpose articles off of both of those blogs into other places. So that will save me some time in having to write some new things. I still write some new things mixed in there, but that just gives me, more of my own content that I get to consolidate. I'm also doing that with a different website. I was basically the webmaster for my consultants group for, a very long time, at least over a decade. And now someone else is actually running that, and I don't have to do that anymore. And I used to write for their blog, and most people don't care in that group. So I'm repurposing that content and put it on my business blog. And it's geared towards business, not necessarily healthcare. A little bit of leadership, but it's geared toward business. I'm also a business consultant. I meet with people locally. I tell them, look, if you buy me a free lunch, because I don't do coffee, and I go to breakfast for my own peace of mind a couple of days a week, but if you pay for lunch, I will give you my time. And I've done that, and I hope to continue doing that. But it doesn't need to be me writing, giving it to someone else who really doesn't care about it. So it's my stuff. So I'm killing those kind of distractions. Something else I'm thinking about, and it depends on how this channel works this year, is by the end of this year, it may be the end of this channel. I have done a bunch of videos, over 200 videos here, and I have about 250 people who have subscribed. When I put it out there on my Facebook business page, when I put it on LinkedIn, they don't get a lot of views. I don't know why, but that's just how that is. Maybe leadership isn't a big thing, as it applies to YouTube. Let's face the fact here. It's not a sexy topic. It's an important topic. That's why I've written 2 books on it. But it's not a sexy topic. People like to come to YouTube to be entertained. They don't necessarily want to come here for leadership or diversity. Some people have come for my healthcare videos of all things, but not a bunch. So it might be the end of it. And that's kind of a shame, but I have my other channel, which I won't be getting rid of, probably at least by the end of the year, maybe in a couple of years. Because once again, even though it's part of a business, a different side of business that I could do, if I'm not getting the visitors and I'm not getting the interaction and the socialization, what's the point, right? I can concentrate on other things. So what are those other things? Other things are basically more marketing and more socialization. I think that if you're going to market properly, there needs to be a lot more socialization. Let's look at LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I share links on there. I share my little bit of missives. I share my videos. And I get a few people who it says it's showing in their feed. You know what? All that means is that it showed up. It doesn't mean that anyone actually looked at it. And I think that the socialization part means that now you can have that opportunity to talk to people, see if they'll talk back with you. If they're in healthcare, which is my biggest business, then there's that possibility that they may say, hey, let's talk to this guy. Maybe he could do something for us, and hire him. If I'm trying to talk to people and they're totally ignoring me, then why stick with them? And I know there's a ton of people like that on LinkedIn. I'm over 1,000 people I'm connected to now. But it's pretty close to the same number that I was connected to over 10 years ago. Matter of fact, I was one of the first 500,000 people on LinkedIn. They sent me a cup. Wasn't that nice? I wish I knew where it was. But anyway, it's one of those kind of things where a lot of people get on there with the idea that they're going to use it as a resume thing, or that they should just be there so if they lose their job, they can do something else. And I'm thinking, no, it needs to be a lot more social. So that's one of the things that I'm intending for 2020 is to be a little bit more social. I'm still going to share my business stuff on there, but try to open up a little bit more and talk to people who are in some of my industries, which are healthcare, leadership, diversity, blogging. One of the things I do, I still write a lot of stuff. So blogging, social media, I consult in those areas here and there. It's just going to be lot more socialization. I'm also going to do that exact same thing on Twitter. I share a lot on Twitter. Twitter is actually my favorite social media platform. But I have recognized that there's a lot of people who I connected with a long time ago who suddenly don't talk to anybody anymore. They're putting out stuff almost on an hourly basis and multiple times in an hour. And I've been checking out a lot more of these people, and they get anywhere from 30,000 people they're connected with to over 100,000. And it's okay if you get that many following you and you're not following that many, but if you never talk to anybody, then you're just being selfish. And I've never been about being selfish. So I've got that where I'm going to be working my business side a little bit different. And of course, I still have some personal things that I have to deal with here and there. I've got my mother, and I've got some other things I'm not going to talk about, but it's got to be a change. I'm 60 years old now. First time I've ever said that on this channel. I've said it on my other channel a bunch. I'm 60 years old. I take care of my mother who's got dementia. I got some help, so at least that works. And I need to be concentrating on more things that have to do with my business. I also have to set up a time where I'm going to actually relax. So I may do something I've never done since I've been self-employed and try to take Saturdays off. No work on Saturdays. Doesn't mean I might not write, because writing, I don't necessarily feel that's always about work, at least in my mind. But everything else, I think I'm going to try to take Saturdays off, at least for the first couple of months, and see how that works out for me. I've never done that. It should be interesting. Who knows? I may even sit down and watch a movie, because you can't always be working. Someone tell me I'm wrong. Anyway, that's my thoughts. That's part of the things I'm looking at. Business. I'm not telling you any personal goals, really, except for that Saturday thing. And we'll see how 2020 goes. And I hope maybe you have figured something out on your own and said, you know what, maybe I should do something like that. Maybe I should concentrate more on business, or maybe I should find a way to relax a little bit more. Y'all let me know. Hopefully someone will comment on one of these videos. My name is Mitch Mitchell. Let's be strong in 2020. You take care.